Listen to your heart. Your heart is never wrong. Always face the truth. Your heart won't lead you home.
Welcome to Soul Wealth, wealthy conversations that nurture the soul. Get ready for an enlightening conversation that will nurture your soul and help you live your best life. Now, here's your host, Dr. Vikki Johnson.
Welcome to the Soul Wealth Radio Show. I am your host, Dr. Vikki Johnson, where we have wealthy conversations that nurture the soul. I'm so excited and happy to be here on dcradio.gov and 96.3 HD4, along with other major platforms. And our guest today, I am so excited to have this wealthy conversation because I know it's going to be nourishing, not only for me, but to those of you who are listening. And let me just introduce her. I want to do her justice because she's an amazing woman, a phenomenal sister. Our guest today is an entertainment attorney and executive life coach with over 20 years experience. She served in the Business and Legal Affairs Department at BET Networks, a Viacom company, and was part of the team at that provider of entertainment for African American audiences and consumers of Black culture globally. She worked at BET along with me. We were there together for over 19 years in many capacities. She began her career at BET as the Director of Business Affairs, negotiating business development and production deals. And I know how diligent she was as part of the legal team at BET. Later, she became the Assistant General Counsel and oversaw the launches of BET's music specials, reality shows, including the Walk of Fame, Celebration of Gospel, Spring Bling, that's a throwback, College Hill, and the BET award shows. In addition to establishing the first standards and practices initiatives at BET, my guest today has trained and supervised other attorneys in negotiating and drafting television production deals, intellectual property matters, and a range of programming pre-broadcast review. She was responsible for overseeing content rights and clearances for the company's production and distribution of original and licensed programming throughout the network and also within Centric, now known as BET Her. As Vice President and Associate General Counsel, she oversaw all legal aspects of the popular BET experience. Currently, she is a Chief of Staff for the Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment in the District of Columbia. I love her. In 2017, she opened her own law firm, Law Offices of Michelle Proctor Rogers, and handles media, transactional, and entertainment law matters in the DC area. She also maintains a life and executive coaching practice under her company, Epiphany Inc., and is an actress who most recently was seen in the N-series productions of Stormy Weather, From U Street to the Cotton Club, and Rabbit Summer at Ally Theater. She's a member of the Maryland Bar, a graduate of the University of Maryland Law School, where she was awarded Best Moot Court Oral Advocate. After receiving an academic scholarship to Spelman College for her undergraduate degree, she received the Bertie Award of Best Lead Actress in Atlanta Theater. She holds an MFA in acting. Girl, you bad. From the University of Pittsburgh, where she received a teaching fellowship. She received her coaching certification at IPEC Coaching Institute. She's an amazing mother who loves her children, a wife, a daughter, and a phenomenal woman to be able to call sister and guest today here on the Soul Wealth Radio Show. Welcome, Michelle Proctor Rogers.
Thank you, Vikki.
You know what?
So
reading that, I felt the way people probably feel when they read my bio. But it's important for people to know who you are.
Yes.
And your accomplishments. And part of the Soul Wealth experience is really taking ownership of how awesome we are, how amazing we are, how great we are. And so that's why I wanted to take the time to read your bio, because it's amazing. You listen to all that you do. And I'm sure people are like, how in the world does she do that? Because I added mom, wife, daughter, and
which are the most important things that I do.
Absolutely. So let's jump right in, because I want to just really delve into the wealth of Michelle Proctor Rogers. And I like to often share that, wealth is intangible as well. We do a lot of pursuing of tangible assets, right? But wealth on the inside makes it easy to produce wealth on the outside. So who or what inspires you to do and be who you are?
I have inspiration all around me. And I was lucky to be born in a family of soul wealthy parents.
That's awesome.
My dad is brilliant and unbreakable. My mother is a fierce warrior and soothsayer. That's the only way to describe them. They are my best friends. And so from the beginning, I was just born into this greatness just by being their child. So I always say I'm the smartest person ever because I chose my parents. I feel you choose your parents before you are born. And I chose the best parents in the world in my mind. And I tell them that. And on my birthday, I thank them. I thank them for having me and allowing me to be a part of their lives. So they inspire me daily. My kids inspire me. They are like me and my husband, but better, kinder, more tolerant, more understanding. They are socially so intelligent, and their emotional IQ is so high in the way they deal with people. Their compassion for others and how they communicate to me is just astonishing.
I'm sure that's a blessing to be able to see the fruit of your womb.
Absolutely.
Live on another level, the next level, because the truth is, as parents, particularly as mothers, that's what we want. We want to see our children doing better than us, being better people than us. So you talk about your parents, your children. Sounds like you have some more inspiration. Please share.
Of course, the illustrious DC Theater's own Kenyatta Rogers, who is my husband. We've known each other for almost 30 years.
Wow.
We started talking in the basement of Baldwin Bureau's theater at Spelman College almost 30 years ago, and we have not stopped talking since.
Wait a minute. Pause. We're not going to gloss over that. That's phenomenal, right? In a day and time where people struggle to have healthy marriages, it also sounds like, in addition to your parents, your husband is your best friend.
He is.
If you're communicating like that in a healthy way, supporting one another's dreams, that's really beautiful.
Yeah, can't stop talking. It's like we were theater's baby, and then theater became our first baby. And so when we're not talking about how to get the kids here and do that and do this, we're just talking about theater and art and how do we do it better or do it more together. He's a director as well as an actor. And so my favorite way to see him is directing. He's living his life's purpose when he's directing. He's so excited. He's jumping around and walking around and just so engaged. And it's just the most exciting thing for me to witness, and it inspires me. And I love it when he's directing me. He has the best advice. But I'm also his coach when he's acting. And so our basement is that's our incubator for performance.
I was going to ask you, what is it like in your home? What is it like
crazy.
To have an actor, actress, director, coach, children who are probably indigo children, really ascended in their intellect, high emotional intelligence, and they're in theater too, correct?
Both of them. My daughter, my daughter and my son, we were Three of us were in a show called From U Street to the Cotton Club that the N series reproduced. I was in it 10 years ago. It did so well. It sold out every night. And so they decided to do it again in the fall of that year. By the fall, I was pregnant with my daughter. So I was like 6 months pregnant doing the show.
Wow.
And then 10 years later, they decide to do it again because it was one of the best shows that they had ever done. And we were able to work with the writer to add my son and my daughter in the show.
Wow.
And my husband directed it, Kenyatta directed it, and it was just phenomenal. And we were all together and we took these amazing pictures. And the first day of rehearsal, my son Kasai was standing next to Kenyatta, and my daughter was in his lap, and they were reading the script, and I was at the other end, and it's just the tears just started because it was surreal to me.
Gratitude, right?
Gratitude.
That's
so happy to
beautiful.
be together. But it's crazy. I mean, they're always singing. The children can perform Hamilton from the beginning to the end, singing, dancing, rapping. And then, my husband is very, very silly, although he seems intense and everybody thinks he's just really always serious. So he'll start in his antics. So it's like a comedy routine from all of us, or one of two, three of us all the time. And we're always trying out new pieces of either music or different theater monologues and so forth. So
That's really cool. I want to jump into some defining moments for you, because it sounds like you had a beautiful childhood.
Yeah.
The way you talked about your parents, which is an amazing thing. Like, that is such a gift. And the way you honor them is also beautiful. So as a child, let's kind of go back and then come forward. As a child, how did you know, or did you know you wanted to go to law school? Like, how did you end up in entertainment? It sounds like you had the gift of creativity early. So how did you get from that to, I think I want to be a lawyer, doing theater down in Atlanta at Spelman. So talk about some defining moments for you that have helped you to build this beautiful life.
Well, to be honest with you, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I knew I loved performing. I loved acting and dancing. And my dad was dead set against me being an actress and a dancer. You'll starve. They don't make any money, And so my mother was like, you could do anything you want to do. But my dad had more of an influence on me. So I kind of kept that hidden for a while. But
what was that like? Hold on for a minute.
Yeah.
What was it? What did it feel like for you to shrink? Right? You might not have known it was that. You might not have known to call it that. But talk about what it's like to put your dreams out there and then have them squashed, I'm going to use that word, temporarily, from someone whose voice matters.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, I am such an adaptable person that I did it when I could, but it pretended it was just a play. It was just for fun. I didn't feel as passionate about it as I really wanted to. So I made excuses for myself, and I moved on to other things that I was good at. And it was my blessing and my curse. I was super good in math, super good in science, good in foreign languages, all these other things. So I focused on those academics in place of art, in place of theater and dance. I did it, but it was just for fun in my mind. And I really convinced myself that it wasn't a real part of me. It was just for fun. And so when I got to Spelman, I would go to the theater productions. And I mean, these ladies have been doing it all along, serious schools, New York School of the Performing Arts, Duke Ellington, wherever, for real. And I got to my senior year and I was just like, I don't feel happy about not doing this. I got to try it before I leave here. Had some electives, free electives, decided to take a couple classes and decided to audition for the show. I said, even if I get a small role, doesn't matter. I just got to see. And Vinette Carroll had come down, first Black woman to direct on Broadway, Your Arms Too Short to Box with God. She had done a show on Broadway called Dark of the Moon. Dark of the Moon, she had directed with James Earl Jones, Cicely Tyson, Rosalind Cash, Roscoe Lee Brown. So she comes down to do Dark of the Moon to Spelman, and I'm auditioning. I don't know who she is. And I audition, and there are all these people that are younger than me. They're like freshmen and sophomores that are drama majors in the AUC, and they are phenomenal. And I'm impressed. Kenyatta Rogers was one of them. And I'm impressed. I'm like, he seems real. When he's doing it, I mean, you really believe he is his character. And so I audition. And back then, there was no social media. So you have to go to the theater and look on the board to see if your name is on there with your character's name. I go to the board. My name's not on there. So I say, oh, okay, well, there. I was never meant to be an actress. I'm no good. Clearly, Vinette didn't see anything in me. So they're rehearsing that night. I get a call in my dorm room. Where are you? Vinette's looking for you. Miss Carroll is looking for you. I said, my name wasn't on the list. And they said, oh my goodness, we're so sorry. There were 3 Michelles in the play. And I think they just thought it was a duplicate and didn't put my name on with the other name. So I had gotten my small role in this fantastic play. And it was the best thing. It was so much fun. And I had the ease of just having fun in it. And then there was another play coming up. And the next play was called Rachel by Angelina Grimke. First play written by a Black woman, performed in 1916 by the NAACP Players. I saw the picture of the original cast, and I'm looking at Rachel, and I'm going, she looks exactly like me. This is my role. This is my role. Nobody else could see it. This is my role. Audition with all the other young ladies. They're drama majors. They're out in the city, in commercials. This is my second role since middle school that I've ever had. I got it.
Wow. Hold on right there, Michelle, because I want to go a little deeper. I want to immerse the value. That was a wealthy moment you just shared because you saw it and then you said it. Like you saw it, you believed it, and then you said it and then manifested it.
Yeah. I wrote the director a note. I wrote her a note the night before the last audition. And I said, tonight you will see I am Rachel.
Wow.
Got into the audition and she starts laughing. Tish Jones, I saw your note. Thank you. And I did my audition. She didn't say anything. So when I came to rehearsal the first night, she said, look, I'm going to tell you the truth. I didn't know who I was going to cast, even that night after the last audition. But I had a dream. And I saw you in the lead role.
Wow.
And that's why I chose you.
Hold on. Wait a minute. That's powerful. That's powerful, right? The story is important. And those moments, though, are pivotal.
Yeah.
Like you saw it. You saw yourself as it. You believed it. You said it. You manifested it, right? So what did that activate? That activated, I'm just going to say that activated a divine response universally. So now let me plant this seed in the other party, right? To now meet your alignment. That is powerful because as you're listening to this, we're talking about a role that Michelle manifested and desired. But that formula works for anything.
Absolutely.
You see something, you see yourself as that.
Yes.
You believe it. After you believe it, you start saying it.
Yes.
Right? Until it manifests. And what that does is it activates all of the other factors that are required for you to have what you saw. Like that is what soul wealth is. That is the lifestyle. That is the power of manifestation.
Absolutely.
So that's really awesome that you had that moment. And I would say on your behalf, that had to be a defining moment for you.
It was a major defining moment. I can't say it was my first of its kind.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that in my freshman year at Spelman, my father was taking out of his retirement fund to pay for me. And that really hurt me. I didn't want him to do that. And at that time, when you did that, you were penalized more money. Now you can do it and you're not penalized the same amount of money. And so I said to him in my freshman year, you will not have to pay for me for very long. I will find a way. And all I could think in my mind is just work really hard and somehow you're going to find the money's going to come. So by my sophomore year, first semester, my computer science teacher came to me and said, do you want a scholarship? I said, what? Do you want a scholarship? Yes. Apply for this and turn it in by tomorrow. So I applied for this scholarship with Amoco Oil Corporation. They came and interviewed me. The man said, asked me all these questions. Why do you do? What inspires you? Was the first question he asked me. I said, my parents. He said, a bunch of things. Why do you want this scholarship? I said, so my father can stop taking out of his retirement to pay for me to come here. He started crying.
Wow.
I went on to Chicago, interviewed with the top executives at Amoco Oil. And out of everybody in the country, all the different colleges, I was one of 2 recipients. It was a full academic scholarship for the rest of my time, including travel expenses, a computer, room, board, tuition, and living expenses, whatever that would be outside of room and board and travel. And he never paid another dime.
That's awesome. That's magic, actually. That's faith.
Yes.
Right? That's God. That's every universal principle I can think of coming into play in your life. And that's beautiful. Like, that's a really beautiful thing. So you get this full ride, you get through Spelman, you graduate.
Yeah.
You have a law degree and a master's degree.
Yeah. So I went to law school.
Overachiever, girl. I'm just
I love school. I love learning. I love teaching. I feel like, what I do on every level is being a teacher. I'm a teacher, a healer, and a problem solver.
Mm.
That's how I address everything, from doing the law to being a parent to being a friend to being a colleague. Everything is through those lenses. And because it's my core of who I am, I feel like it's easy for me to do. So if there's a crisis, I'm like excited because I know I'm going to find the answer to the problem. It's my turn to help. It's my turn to do what I do. So went to law school because now I'm confused. I got a job at Amoco and I turned it down. So everybody's like, you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You are nuts. And I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. Maybe I'll go into law because I like to speak, I like to act, and I want to help people. This is what I'm saying. And I don't know what I want to do. So I go back home, go to Maryland, go to law school. I'm acting all the time. Coming to class, face is made up because I've been on an audition for a movie. I was on The Wire, all this stuff. Meanwhile, Mr. Kenyatta Rogers is still at Clark Atlanta University, and he is auditioning for grad school. He gets into all of these schools. And I said, I'd give anything to be in your place, to be right there. He says, why don't you audition to the schools and maybe you can get in too? So I did it. I got a full ride to the University of Pittsburgh. And so did he. And we just go right off together, riding in the sunset.
That's so awesome. Like, that is amazing. That's incredible, Michelle, really. Like, that. You gave so many soul wealth tips because that's the next question. Like, what is your soul wealth tip? And just the power of vision and belief that you have manifested throughout your life in different areas, from your marriage to your career, to your passion, to your dad not having to pay for your education. Are you an only child?
I have a brother. He is almost 5 years younger than me.
Okay.
He is so brilliant. He works for the Baltimore Department of Juvenile Justice. He's like a lawyer and a counselor at the same time. He helps these young people in trouble or about to be in trouble, and he advocates on an intellectual level with these judges and these other lawyers. He goes to battle, and then he turns around and counsels these young people and helps them on a spiritual and a psychological level. He is a bad man.
Hey, brother. Hey, Michelle's brother. That's awesome that you are so sensitive and have such an awareness. And that's why you're so blessed.
I
Quite
am
frankly,
very blessed.
That's why you're so blessed. I want to talk about your coaching as well, your coaching practice as we're winding down.
Sure.
Talk about your coaching. Who do you work with? What are some of your most memorable ahas that you've had with clients?
Well, it started at BET, to be honest. People from different departments, including my own, would come in my office to talk about legal issues with contracts and whatever we were working on. And I just get curious. So I start asking questions. And the next thing you know, they're crying or they're divulging what it is they want their purpose in life to be. So it got to a point where there was a line around the corner outside my door, people waiting. I heard about you, or just, in conversation and coming back, how to navigate BET, how to navigate just what they wanted to ultimately do. And that would be my question, my intro. What do you really want to do? Because I can tell, and
it's
I can
something else.
Yeah.
And you know what it's like to be doing something and really want to do something else, which means the lessons we learn early in life, we teach what we learn, right? So the lessons follow us throughout life. And so that was the, maybe I should go get certified as a coach.
Exactly.
And you became certified as a coach. And it's just wonderful, this beautifully integrated life that you have. And so I want to ask you one more question and then we have to wrap up.
Sure.
What legacy do you want to leave?
It's huge. I want to be a part in making DC a premier city of media, arts, and entertainment.
But you're in the right place.
I know it. And
You're in the right place.
That's one. Two, I want to just continue to create working environments that are nurturing and inspiring and fulfilling for people. And three, I want to leave my children, the world, a better place through creativity. That's all.
I love it. That's beautiful. That's a lot. How can people get in touch with you? Like you're resonating with people, women, men, whether it's an entertainment attorney, somebody in the arts, wants to do theater, a fellow Spelman sister.
Absolutely.
How can people get in touch with you?
Sure. They can email me, michelleprogers@gmail.com anytime. I love to talk to people. I love to give advice. I love to help people get to their next level. That's what I enjoy most. It gives me energy. It is the healer healing herself.
Love it. That is so perfect. We're going to stop right there. Listen, those of you who had the privilege to hear this wealthy conversation, I know your soul was nurtured. Mine was and is being nurtured. I want to invite you also to visit my website. That's VikkiJohnson.com, VIKKI Johnson.com. You can find all of my social media via my website. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at All Things Vikki. Again, VIKKI. You got to get that right or you won't find me. Thank you again, Michelle Proctor Rogers, for being here. Entertainment attorney extraordinaire, actress, life coach, mom, wife. What a beautiful life. What a blessing. And those of you listening, thank you for joining us today on the Soul Wealth Radio Show. I am your host, Dr. Vikki Johnson. We love it here on dcradio.gov and 96.3 HD4. Want to invite you. No, I want to provoke you. Go out and live full so you can die empty. peace.
You've been listening to Soul Wealth, wealthy conversations that nurture the soul with Dr. Vikki Johnson. Soul Wealth is not just a brand, it's a lifestyle of vision, compassion, authenticity, abundance, and legacy created one conversation, one choice at a time. For more information, visit VikkiJohnson.com or click on Soul Wealth at dcradio.gov.